Hey everyone, and welcome to the May kits, which are full of some beautiful paper from the Paisley Day collection at Kaisercraft. So I thought I'd show off some of these pages by doing this little foldy kind of technique. So I'm going to add some double-sided tape to these two corners and add it to this the wood looking kind of paper, and I will then just fold it down. So double-sided tape. So just lining up those corners so that it is 12 by 12 in its entirety. And then I'm just going to fold down here using the top left as my guide as to how it's going to look at that spot rather than anywhere else. That started off the line. I've lightly folded it so it's not flat to it, and then I've added that double-sided tape, and when I've stuck it down with that double-sided tape there in that corner, I've left it a little bit of a fold, and you can see there I've even pressed it even further down, and still if you look at that right hand side there, you can see it's not a flat fold. So I've got two little photos here of my grandma and my granddad when they were younger, and I'm just going to use those two black and white ones just so it looks nice and lets all those colours speak for themselves. Thought I'd add a little bit of a border to this one, and then I was trying to find a border for the other one just because I want it to pop off the page a bit. I didn't want the photos to be lost. So I've gone through all the 6x6 papers that we got in the pack, and then I settle on, I've pulled out this pink little diamond pattern one, and I've also got that original pink that I used for the other photo. Realise that's going to be a good one. It brings in that peachy, pinky, corally colour. So I'm finding that I obviously need to learn some colour names other than, pink, blue and red. I need to learn aqua and teal and peach and coral because I have no idea really. Anyway, so I'm working out the placement of my photos. I was going to tuck that one in, but then you can't see their whole bodies, and it's just, I don't know, something cute to keep in there as a memory. So I'm going to put it up on top of the fold and just use some double-sided tape there so it sticks up above the fold rather than flattens down. Just didn't place my double-sided tape very well, so fixing that up. And then I'm going to add that close-up photo of the two of them onto the left there on a bit of an angle. So moving on next, I'm going to work out what I'm going to do in terms of embellishing and my title, and then we're going to work out how this is all going to come together, because that's really all I started with. I knew I wanted to fold my papers and I wanted black and white photos. So, and this is how we've got so far. We're going to work out how we're going to finish it off. So we have these little cut aparts that we got with the 6x6 paper that I said in my unboxing on my channel that I was going to pull out and put with my embellishments, but I didn't get that far. So instead I just clipped out this one, and I'm trying a few to see which one I wanted. I figured it could be my title, but then in the end it doesn't stay there at all. I start going through the embellishments that we've got in our collection, and I'm pulling out these flowers, and I'm going to start making some clusters. So I do like those floral clusters, but they weren't the right position for the photos and where I want my clusters. So instead I use the individual flowers and leaves to make my own. So putting them together here, I just left this in, but I have sped it up just so you can see my process, my thought process as I put it all together. I was working out that maybe this would be a good title to have with this little wood veneer looking thickers, and I like it, and I really just couldn't make it work last night when I was working on it. So I did think I could put it down here and have a little cluster down that bottom left corner, but spoiler alert, I don't end up with that. I find there's enough going on in this big area that I didn't want to add anything down there. Adding some little bits and pieces. These are some of the exclusives. They've got exclusive die cuts in the collection, so if you ever do want to check out what's in the collection and anyone's first thoughts on the design team, definitely go check out our channels. We put up unboxings every month. So And when I do my unboxing, I show how I'm going to put it, I actually show how I put it together in my really useful box so that it's ready to be used. So, I went with the title Us. I just wanted something small, sweet to the point. I didn't want the normal title, and I thought Us was a nice little homage to the two of them. So I did pull out originally the capital letters and found that they were too big and overbearing, and instead went with the lowercase letters, which was nice in this thicker set that both were in the set. So we had that choice. And I'm just going to start working on gluing down the clusters and finalising them so that the page can come together. Sometimes I like to stick and plonk as I'm going. Other times, like this where I wasn't 100% sure, I laid a few out and then I'm going in the stick and plonk situation here. So I pulled out one of these Kuros, they call them. So that's just a glass flare, which is really nice, but they're also very sticky. So once they're stuck down, you can get them up, but not very easily. So be mindful of where you're putting it. Pulling out some words out of the collection, just because out of the kit, just because I figured it needs something to contrast the flowers that are going on. So they're going to go, well, I do put them there thinking that I wanted to put it there, but I figured it was covering up a lot of that, not the fold, that triangle of that pattern paper where it goes from one pattern to the next. I didn't want to cover it all up and lose that original design of the folded paper. Adding some wood veneer because they were flowers and they are nice to add that wood touch, especially with that wood background. And I'm going to use this label here to put my title on. So I'm going to cut it down so I can stick it here under the flare, and you can see how it's a little bit tricky to pull up that flare, but you get there in the end. And then I've got this little bit of blank space above it, trap space, and I need a word to fit in there. But I needed just a black and white word. I couldn't find one, so instead I pull into my stash. But as I was looking for the right sticker, I remember that we have all these flower stickers in the collection, and then we are going to add some more flowers that way. So adding them here, going to that top cluster so that it can be finalized and work out exactly what's going on. I did find this you and me as well, this circle, which is a nice little touch to that top cluster. And I'm adding even some of these flowers as single by themselves, and this one here tucked in the fold. So that's really nice. And then we're going to add some more stickers and finish them off just like that. So adding a little bit more, and then there's not going to be much more. And then I am using, unfortunately, my glossy accents because I still have not gotten a proper glue bottle. And I've got, that one's the one with the smallest nozzle, so they do work really well, the glossy accents, so it sticks so well. Anyway, here's my tiny word stickers that I pulled out of my stash, and I'm just going to add them in 2 spots to tie them in. And then I'm going to work on some enamel dots. So these are also from the kit, and they go so well in colour and tone that I've put quite a few in and around the cluster just to finish it off, adding more than just the flowers to the cluster and the words that way. It's nice to have a bit of different texture in what's going on and what not going on. Good speaking. So I don't do too much more to this layout. I do add a bit of journaling, and I do it so that it's not so bold and in your face, the journaling. I could have, used some white out tape and made some space on the coloured pattern paper and done it that way, or put it down in the left corner as its own little thing with a flower cluster. But I decided to put it under here, down here, just so that when you're looking, it is a bit tricky on the camera to see fully, but when you're looking, you see different things as you look harder. So when you first look, it might not stick out at you and be in your face, but as you continue to look and take in the whole layout, it stands out and you can see it. So here's the close-ups of the page, and I hope you've enjoyed it and you feel inspired to go and create something yourself. Share with us what you're making with the May kits or any other kits that you've got from Kitaholic Kits over on the Facebook page or Instagram. We'd love to see them. Okay, I'll catch you next time. Bye.